today.
Dude, it's a boxing
but they're still coming back.
Angry to pay for
they're still coming back. So
they're addicted.
I think this is the one where they'll stop coming back, though.
I always think that.
I know.
Dude, there's no
I think
such
I'm a
thing.
victim of the moment.
Welcome back to the episode. Logan Paul has just fought Floyd Mayweather, and I think he's won, but who knows. Anyway, we're aiming 500 subs. This is what we're giving away. It's a pair of AirPods Pro. Head to our Instagram at Outspoken Show. Get us to 500 subs, and you can have these. I'm just going to quickly recap the fight. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather today. Logan Paul weighed in at around 35 pounds more. I think he had 5 more inches in reach,
Okay.
3 more inches in height. Round 1, Paul came out really good, gave a good flurry at Mayweather towards maybe 10 seconds into the last round. I don't think any of them actually landed, but it was a really good, impressive flurry for 10 seconds. Round 1 ended, and Mayweather's just doing his butterfly shit where he just
the
backs
movement's
out.
insane.
It's scary. Round 2 was close. Mayweather struck him a little bit, but once more, Paul was throwing a few more shots. It could have gone either way, round 2. Round 3, Mayweather says no more of this. He comes out. You can tell he's on the front foot. He's starting to press forward a little bit more, get aggressive. Round 4, Mayweather's doing the same thing.
I feel like he's always been like that. He never comes out hard from the
beginning. He's always taking a step back and observing the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, definitely.
Round 4, Mayweather hit him with a very strong left to the eye, his Paul's left eye. Round 6, Paul struggling, a lot of hugging. Round 7, a lot of hugging. And there was a lot of hugging in round 4 and 5.
Gotta love
it was a very...
He's a lover,
huggy,
It was beautiful,
fight.
yeah. Good
Round 7, he started to come out of his shell a little bit again, have a second wind. Round 8, he was back. A little bit of showboating, a little bit of throwing the hand up in the air to celebrate.
He probably just wanted to live.
I think he saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and he was like, we fucking made it. Hand up.
It's a bag, bro.
And he started throwing a couple more shots, but Floyd Mayweather clearly won the fight.
Yeah, there's a cool little highlight that I saw of Logan hitting this massive right hand on the side of Mayweather's ear. That looked pretty nice. That's about it.
Yeah, there was a.
Did he hit cleanly, or did he move?
No, it was a clean shot.
It's a left jab, pushes Mayweather, and then hits him with
and I think that'll be clipped, and that will be used as the new impulsive intro. Because who the fuck wouldn't use it?
That's
you would have
pretty
used the fuck out of it. And I think Logan Paul had already posted on his Instagram as well.
Yeah, he's like W.
Yeah, he posted the big dub, hand up, followed by that video, followed by Mayweather saying he's a very good young fighter who I didn't expect to be that good. And that was end statement. We just saw those two boys get paid truckload of money.
Big bags.
A truckload. Can this continue?
Yes.
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think at the same rate.
I think so. You know why? I think there's going to be some big UFC star, big boxer maybe comes out and be like, I'm going to fucking bash this dude.
I don't know, because I think it seemed like, and it's too early to tell this, but the consensus was the fight was boring. The fight wasn't actually entertaining.
Yeah, that's why the
It
next
was all
fight will
hype.
be like, I'm going to come out and bash you.
But I don't know. Are people starting to
brawl.
see into it now? Like, see through the
bull crap.
hype and the build up, and it's like it's not actually going to be that entertaining to watch these people actually fight.
Well, it's entertaining if you're a technician, if you understand the sport for what it is.
it
And
entertaining,
boxing is a point game.
I don't think it was entertaining.
but it's
No,
not.
no,
It's
no,
not
no,
even
no,
like
the
from a-
first 2 rounds were.
No, what I mean is if you follow boxing to watch the point game, then it would have been entertaining. But
don't-
it's not a point game. People wanted to see a brawl.
I
And
don't
that's what I
think
mean.
so.
It still
wasn't
wasn't,
even a
I know
point
what you're
game.
saying.
It was a Floyd Mayweather, like the one who looked like the actual boxer. And
Yeah.
Logan like surviving.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a competitive
It would have
point
been.
game where 2 people knew what they were doing.
It would have been good if
that's
the other
different.
person, as in Paul, would have been Mayweather's size,
Sure.
and then you've got a good fight.
Yeah.
But when you've got someone who's exhausted from round 3 to 8
Big fatty.
and much bigger and is getting hit a couple of times, you're going to go into survival mode. You're going to go on and hug and try and milk as much time out of the clock.
Get a few kisses in.
I think he did. They got very close. It was very snuggly.
It's emotional.
But I don't know. I don't know if this will continue.
I don't think my vibe is they might try. Jake Paul maybe, because he's going to start fighting legit people, and he seems to be fighting people at least similar.
No, you
to
know what
his
he
weight.
does? He just gets in there and talks shit, and then he walks away. That's what he does.
He hits him with a big fucking
I think he's
fist.
He seems a little. Is he better than Logan
I
Paul?
think so.
Like, he seems like he's probably taken it a bit more.
It's
a bit more skill.
and I listened to Logan Paul say that on the BFFs pod with Josh Richards and Dave Portnoy, where Jake Paul actually has the chance to make it as a boxer. And the reason why Logan Paul chose fighting Floyd Mayweather is he's got a somewhat of a fighting chance, which is definitely true. And Floyd Mayweather can't do that much damage to him because he's a lot smaller and a lot older. And he goes, Logan Paul would never enter the ring with someone like Canelo because he would just get crushed. He goes,
die.
we're not on the same
Planet.
there's levels to this shit still. And I think he's aware in that sense that, like, he's not at the level, but I think Jake Paul is aiming to be.
I think Jake Paul could continue to fight legit people, a bit different. I think Logan Paul fighting, like, what? Who's he going to fight?
He's still got another
too
fight in him, though.
Big.
Yeah.
He'd have to fight someone big who's good, who then
Which
has
is
a knockout power,
tough.
which is then when he dies, like, he
Yeah.
gets knocked out. I don't know. I think a lot of people are seeing through, like, okay, it's not actually that interesting to watch
It's just the hype.
the fights. It's just the hype. Technicians would enjoy because they'd want to see a competitive fight where the points actually matter. It would have just been Floyd Mayweather cleaning
Technicians
up.
like to watch the Olympics and stuff like that. Like
two
those
competitive people at a similar level.
really,
Yeah.
really, really.
You know
good
what, though?
boxers.
You've got the McGregor Mayweather. That happened. The Mayweather Pacquiao, Mayweather McGregor. Like, both of those fights were sort of fizzes in the eyes of the people paying for pay-per-view. So, like, people are still going back and purchasing fights. Jake Paul, Nate Robinson, no one was happy about that because it was a literally 13-second fight. So everyone...
But people like those.
But people
like a quick knockout more than they like a drag
Oh,
out.
yeah.
boring
shit,
fight,
yeah.
because at
But
least
I
it's
still think people are angry that they paid for the pay-per-views. But... Well, people were angry today.
Dude, it's a
But
boxing.
they're also
but they're
idiots,
still
I'll say.
coming
If you're
back.
angry to pay for
They're still coming back. So
They're addicted.
I think
know.
this is the one where they'll stop coming back, though. I think...
I always think that.
I know.
Dude, there's no
I think
such
I'm a victim
thing.
of the moment, maybe, but it's just...
Yeah.
People expect... Because the casual fans you're getting in, who don't care about fighting, they won't be entertained by that.
I
Why
know.
would they keep
Yeah, because
coming
in
back?
their
but
head they
they're-
think it's a knockout.
They want to
Yes,
brawl. They want
but
just
who
a
are they
brawl.
entertained by? And if they're entertained by Logan Paul and he's doing another fight, I'm pretty sure he can intrigue them enough to come back
Yeah,
and
maybe.
pay for the fight.
Even maybe a
But I
second time.
completely agree. It's like, this is not worth the $80 Australian pay-per-view money that we just
go watch
paid.
it at a pub or something.
Which is what we did. But even still, it's like, it's not that great.
You've got to have
watch.
a brawl. You have to have a brawl for these people who are coming in to watch the sport, like for the first or maybe second time. If they're coming to watch Logan fight, it's got to be a brawl. Otherwise, they'll just, as you said, not be interested, and they'll sort of just walk away going, that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, and that was sort of a waste of money.
They don't take into account the tactics and the technique.
Yeah,
Like
they may not even understand it.
Like Mayweather was doing what he does always for those first few rounds because I didn't watch it fully, but I watched like
Yeah, he did
glimpses of each
nothing.
round.
He did
Like,
nothing.
He would,
He just
but that's
stepped
what
back.
he does. Like
Exactly.
And people were saying I was around. They're like, why isn't he just going for him? Like, no, this is what he does. That's part
This
of
is
the
his
tact.
style.
That's some of the fights, like some of the professional fights at
He
the highest
watches
level.
for 2 rounds.
Well, that's what it is. Like that's fighting. That's boxing. It's not all brawls.
If you want to see a really good boxer, for anyone who just wants something to watch, who's interested in the sport, Vasily Lomachenko. He's a weapon. Just so I'd shout that out. That is really fun to watch.
He's
He's-
another one of those technicians.
Dude, he's a massive technician. He
He's
boxes for
small
the
too.
Olympics.
He'd be like more Mayweather.
He's featherweight.
Are you sure he boxes for the Olympics?
He
Not-
probably
not
wouldn't
here in
now.
Oz. He
definitely
wouldn't
doesn't.
now.
Not here in
He
Oz.
might have boxed in the Olympics back in the day. But
Yeah,
he's
but not
definitely
anymore.
professional now.
I'm pretty sure. Still,
You
no.
can't. As a professional
Wait,
boxer.
is boxing one of those sports where you can't?
Yeah.
Because I know football.
No,
like, you're allowed.
boxing's,
pretty sure.
boxing's amateur only.
Is it okay?
No.
Yeah, and
I'm
Lomachenko,
fairly-
I know, has had professional bouts.
Yeah.
So maybe in the past he probably has in the past.
Anyway, long story
is it
short,
Ukraine?
he's cool.
Is it
Yeah,
Ukraine?
he's
Yeah.
Ukrainian, yeah.
Yeah, probably not now. But are we going to keep... I'm still want to get to the bottom of this. Are we going to keep paying $50 for the next pay-per-view?
Yes, we're addicted.
I will not.
I'll be going to the
I've
pub.
done that. I was sent me into this one when I saw what it was going to be after the film. I'm like, okay, I'll watch the last round, but I'll just keep going on about my work. I don't really care enough. I'm kind of over it.
I'll just go to the pub. I mean, like, if you want to watch one of these matches, just go to the pub.
Yeah, that I would
Like,
do.
support your local.
That I would do. I wouldn't I wouldn't pay to watch one.
Yeah, get
I
on the
wouldn't pay to
beers,
watch
have a
one.
chicken palmy.
I have like no interest in watching Logan Paul in that fight. Jake Paul I might watch because I like Tyron Woodley.
That
And
Funny.
he seems like he's a little bit. Like I said, it seems like it's a bit more serious to fight with him.
I've literally had the exact opposite thought to you, like because when the Jake Paul announcement came, and like I probably won't be watching this one because I'm just like sort of sick of it in a way. But like the Logan Paul one, I'd watch because these are two big entertainers. Where it's like Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, in my opinion, I was like, I'm sort of getting over it, and it's like I'm trying to pick which ones I want to actually get involved in and sort of pay attention to.
But you closely follow and you enjoy like watching Logan Paul and his content. You're like a fan of his.
Yeah.
I've never been like that drawn to him. Like I've never found his content that
I felt him
appealing to
arrogant.
myself.
Which is why I think like when these pay-per-view numbers come in,
Oh yeah, I'm
I
sure
think
they'll
we'll
be
be
huge.
blown
These
away.
ones will be huge.
Showtime crashed. Showtime's website
That's fucking
crashed.
hilarious.
How many events do you reckon Showtime has hosted on their servers?
Oh, thousands.
And to still go down?
Yeah, there would be
It's-
too many people.
Do we
watching.
believe that?
No, no,
it's
it
hype
went
machine. It's
down.
definitely showed.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it
so
went-
skeptical. Like,
No.
Do you know what's
did
gonna?
they just say that this is Logan Paul's like it crashed? We had that many people.
No,
yeah.
because I was trying to get the stream, and even looking at comments on a stream on YouTube, I went to the pub to watch it. But on a YouTube stream, people were talking about how Showtime is down.
yeah.
That's
It
why you got to
still
support
amazes
your
me that.
local.
But the fact that Showtime, like,
Yeah,
that's why I'm really excited to see
that's
these
pretty
pay-per-view numbers. What do we reckon Logan Paul will get paid after pay-per-view?
Well, I thought he put up something like he put up something on his Instagram, something about $1 million, something or other.
It's way more than
Yeah, I
that.
know, but he.
$1 million per.
No, I thought that. I think that was
100,000.
like just for his like press conference.
Right.
So.
What, like a bonus for making the press conference. I
That
don't know.
doesn't sound like-
I have no idea.
He put it up and then like put some other videos about the press
Maybe
conference. It
he,
might
maybe
be.
he put he was wearing some advertisement to give him $1
Maybe,
million
maybe.
during a price.
Yeah, what do you think? How much do you think he gets paid?
I reckon he's over 200. I reckon
Really?
when
That's a lot of
everything's all
money.
said and done, I
Is that
think he'll
highest paid
that would put him into.
for one bout? Like, what's Floyd Mayweather's biggest bag?
I think he's
Was
gotten
it the
over He's got over 200. And I think
No.
it would have been.
Yeah.
But I think the numbers will be filthy.
Just
Like,
They'll be so filthy, man. Like just like hearing that Showtime's crashed. I've never heard of any pay-per-view server go down like
Yeah, it's
that.
pretty nuts.
For Jake Paul and Ben Askren to get 10th highest pay-per-view of all time. That was on Triller, which is a much smaller hosting
Yeah,
server,
true.
and it was only available on Triller. This one was available on Fanmio, which had some other bonus deal going where if you pay the same price, you get a t-shirt. And Showtime goes down.
For sure, this is going to be so much bigger than
I
Jake Paul fight.
think
'Cause
this is
they're
the
both-
biggest
they're
pay-per-view of all time.
Both bigger names. Like, Logan Paul's bigger than
Definitely.
Jake is, and then Floyd Mayweather, a lot bigger than Ben Askren. Like, that's just,
Right.
it's a combination.
Is this?
for-
I'm gonna say biggest pay-per-view of
Well,
all
what's
time.
the
Do you
big? What are
agree?
the numbers? What are the numbers?
I'll check the numbers.
'Cause I can't
The
remember
biggest
some-
was Mayweather Pacquiao, I think, followed by Mayweather McGregor.
Huge was Mayweather Pacquiao was big talk. I didn't know anything about boxing when that shit was happening, but that was big time. Everyone was into that. My dad, like, he doesn't watch boxing. Like, he was watching that. Like,
So, there's a UFC
That's
fight
nuts.
that comes in here.
Can you pop it up?
I'll pull it up.
Yeah,
what's the UFC
right.
fight?
That actually links into what
Is
I
it
wanted
John
to bring up with you guys.
Wait, is it? What's the UFC fight?
It is Khabib and McGregor.
Oh,
229.
yeah. Howie. Oh, what a fight.
When was that? When was that?
What a fucking fight. Oh, a couple of years
Oh,
ago.
this is not it. That's show
Ooh.
notes. Get that one back down. Why did that pop up? This is giving.
That
me
was a
the-
good fight. That's the one with the big aftermath.
Why
where they
is
were-
this not working?
YouTube malfunctions.
But regardless, what are the numbers?
Numbers: 4.6 million buy rate for the Mayweather Pacquiao, 4.3 million Mayweather McGregor, and 2.4 million Khabib and McGregor. So there's obviously like a big
Jump up
difference
to
from
there.
2 to 3.
Do you reckon it's slotting in that third position then?
I reckon number
I
one.
think so.
You reckon number one?
I think if it's crashing Showtime,
I think it'd be
I
number
don't know
2.
what that means, but
Maybe they're just internet shit house. They're running with Optus.
it could be. It could be. They could have the same issues we got.
They're on Dodo. Yeah.
Internet shit
don't know.
house. Who knows? So this actually.
I would put. I'm going to put number 3. It's going to come in.
So
below,
1, 2, and 3.
I think it's going to be
You're saying
3.
number 2?
It's going to be and this is based on nothing other than
Again,
100.
dude.
3 mil,
Shocking.
3.9 mil buy rate. Boom.
3.9 mil.
Lock it in.
I'm going to say 5-1. 5-1. 5.1 million purchases, pay-per-view purchases.
4-4.
4-4.
Just
Oh,
why
Slots it
not?
in second place. But that's
It's so much money.
regardless, who gives a fuck? That's so much. Like they've done so
The
well.
the amazing thing is as well, like if we get paid, okay, so the average income in Australia is like maybe 60k, 70k. I don't
I
know
think
what
it
it
hovers
is.
around that mark, yeah.
And for us to buy a car, a decent car is probably 30 to 40k. So let's just say half your income. That's a whole line of Toyota Camrys. If they're earning somewhere,
If you're driving a Camry, you are humble.
yes,
At that
because
level.
McGregor, Paul is getting paid more than McGregor did back in 2018. That's a fact. It's not, but I'm calling it.
Yeah.
And that was 100 million.
Quote him on that.
Yeah, you can quote me on it. And that was 100 million. There's just at some point our mind just doesn't scale the point where it's
Have you
like,
seen those videos
how
of,
many
like-
Camrys are they fucking buying?
Yeah, you love the Camry. Love the Toyota
Dude, have you
Camry.
seen
Well,
the videos of,
$30,000
like-
Camry.
How much money is it? But it's shown with rice. It's like 1
Oh.
grain of rice. You know, it's ridiculous.
To fill up a bathtub or something. Or-
Yeah, no, they just show
It'd
like
probably
in
look
big
like
piles
China.
and-
Like 200 million of rice. That's probably like the amount of coverage of China. No.
That's
No.
Oh, look, you're a bit off there.
Maybe New
not
Zealand.
not every joke hits.
Maybe
It's okay.
We
You know
were.
who doesn't hit Logan? His hit rate was shocking that fight.
You
Can't
gotta,
hit butterfly.
but can he view it as a win?
Can't hit
Yes.
a butterfly.
Yes.
You can.
It's a
I can hit it. I
shitload
can
of
hit a
money.
butterfly.
You couldn't hit a butterfly.
I think I could.
You could swab on a net, maybe. You couldn't hit one for your hand. I'm putting money on
I could catch a fly.
You can't catch a fly.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
My grandmother can catch a
you
fly.
can catch a fly.
She's
With her
88.
hand, for sure.
Yeah.
Chopsticks?
Chopsticks. No, that's some Kung Fu Panda type
That's all I'm
shit.
saying.
That's Mr. Miyagi type
Does, yeah, it
stuff.
doesn't count.
So I wanted to actually bring up the next fight that I think.
Can Logan view this as a win?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did
too
not
much
lose
money.
at all. Unless no, there's no losing this. He didn't get knocked out.
No.
Probably didn't get seriously hurt. People are going to get angry that he hugged him, but what else are you going to do? Like he was.
Damn. Fuck them. When you got 200 mil in the bag,
Yeah,
people forget quickly.
yeah. You won 8 rounds. You're fine. Like yeah, I think he can see that as a win. Does it mean Floyd Mayweather sees it as a loss though?
Pull these guys up.
We can't. It's copyright.
Oh, we can't.
Yeah.
Well,
this is Khabib's.
Khabib's
You know those 2
mini
babies
Khabib?
that are boxing on
Oh,
TikTok?
yeah.
Dude, that's gonna be brilliant. So the people
The
who don't
next
know what I'm
Khabib.
talking about, Hasbulla versus Abduro Zik.
If you're watching
I
on
haven't seen the
TikTok,
fight.
you're
I've seen
seeing
the
two
Abdullah
two
kid.
midgets who are actually 18 years old punching and kicking.
And they throw.
Oh, are they really? Yeah, I
they're
saw
18.
like briefly saw a video. Of
Bro, they throw mean right hands, call each other chicken shit. That's the next fight. That's the biggest thing since sliced bread.
Do you reckon Logan Paul will be taking another fight after this?
I don't know. What's the point? He doesn't
Get
want to be a
more money.
boxer. He doesn't want to.
I think he's enjoying it.
If
And if he's
really
enjoying
does-
it, and the bag is as big as it is,
Who's bigger than Mayweather though?
no one.
So he's not
No
going to get
one's
bigger.
bigger than Mayweather.
No, but he's
It's
just
not gonna
likes-
get bigger.
Dude, it's just money. It's money.
But he can get money other ways. I
Uh,
don't.
but nothing pays in a lump sum like a fight,
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
other than a lotto ticket.
If he truly loves
But even
doing
that,
it,
dude,
well, who's
even
gonna
that
fight
doesn't.
him?
Well,
Fucking go
Let's-
against Francis Ngannou. That'd be nice.
but
Let's see
it's-
that fight.
Dude, he
May-
he puts his head on a swivel,
He's-
bro, because he's gonna get knocked
he's
out.
actually-
So maybe it can't be a boxer. His next fight can't be a boxer. It could potentially be an MMA person.
He's gonna die.
He could,
Yeah.
but he could.
It could be an MMA person who's.
Like he could fight McGregor. I don't. I think it'd be a terrible idea for McGregor to take the fight. But I think
That makes sense though.
But I think that would be a good fight.
in terms of scale, it's not. It's going as sideways as you can from Mayweather.
Yeah.
I love how you guys are just like, who's the biggest guy who can fight? Who knows? What if he just turns around tomorrow? All right, I'm not fighting anymore.
I don't think he will.
I think that's what it was, but I could see him going for a Mayweather. No,
Do you think he's
McGregor.
greedy? Make your call. Do you think he's gonna go and
I'm
try
gonna
to do
say
another fight
hungry.
or no?
I'm gonna. I wouldn't. I don't like. I like the guy. I don't want to pin the word greedy. I'll say hungry.
Oh, he's just capitalizing. I don't. It's
Agreed.
partly greedy though. It's well, no, I don't like the word greedy anyway. Like he
Yeah.
just he can make money by doing
He's
this
got the-
thing. He's putting his physical health on the line by getting punched in the face.
But like,
It's not greedy. It's just capitalizing.
yeah, I think one of the coolest things is he's actually just been given the opportunity to fight one of the best boxers in the world. There's a shitload of money involved. There's probably no serious injury that actually
No.
came with it. Like, fuck yeah, like, hats off to the dude.
Yeah, I would stop if I were him though.
You would stop.
But that's why I'm not in his position because I would get them like I would stop. Like, why are you risking getting like a broken orbital or something stupid like that? Where seriously, like, and you've already got all the money.
He's
Yeah,
got
true.
he's got all the money.
But like I said, I don't have the mindset he does.
But-
It would be like more. I can keep doing this. It's fun.
I think there's also like a different level of money. Like he before this he
Chase
had
that
money.
bill. Chase that billion.
Yeah, I think that's like this will get you there very quickly. Like 2 more fights and you're probably halfway there.
Him and his brother keep building him up, and that's the. Do you still think that's going to happen? That's going to be the him versus brother.
Bro, what if
I
that's the
think
next
so.
fight?
He's addressed it, and he said he's worried about him turning too much against his brother and just it being bad for his family, which makes sense because it did turn that way. I think it was 2019 when they were dissing each other on Twitter.
Dude,
started with diss tracks.
it feels like Logan's a little bit more like in touch
Oh.
with reality. He's a lot more humble, if that's even a
self-aware.
word you could self-aware, sure. Whereas Jake sort of seems like this absolute loose cannon. I mean, Luke was talking about him potentially have slashed
He
people's
slashed
tires
Austin McBroom's tires.
allegedly.
Yeah, but apparently as well, this is all alleged, which
Fucking hell.
he then told to I think Josh Richards. This is what they were saying on a pod. He called Austin McBroom like 10 minutes later and said, "Yo, I'm sorry, man. Like, I regret doing that. Like, I'm sorry." Like instant regret, like just a weird spurt of anger, and almost
Slash
like
his
lack
heart.
of control over his own emotions.
Well, that's a deadly combination. The guy with all the money,
Yeah.
he's got talent, and he's got anger issues, and
And he's a
ever gonna
good fighter, potentially.
No one's going to tell him no. This guy's going to go off the fucking rail.
And
I wanted to
potentially
fight
good
Francis Ngannou.
You know what that means? Cocaine addiction coming soon, or
But
drugs,
just-
alcohol, just
yeah, but what's to
off
say
the
he's not
rails.
already on it?
I would, yeah, I
Off
feel
the
like
rails, though.
Yeah, but dude,
I
you
think
know,
boxing keeps you in line. Well, any sport at a competitive level will keep you in line, and I think the issue comes after.
Yeah, after, when he decides
Yeah.
to stop. Yeah, but if that's legitimate, where he actually felt sorry, or he's just talking shit more by on the podcast. I called him up, said sorry. Like,
I'm not. Yeah.
yeah,
No, that wasn't him. This was another guy saying that. It's like
Oh,
the word had got
who
passed
said who?
around.
Yeah,
But
It's Chinese whispers
Chinese
at this
whispers,
point.
yeah.
but okay, so
Meanwhile, on the phone, he's like, "Fuck you, man. I
Yeah.
hope your tires are deflated." Like, fuck
he
you.
was really apologetic. We want this fight. We want to fight. Yeah,
so Logan Paul can't fight another boxer his size because
No, he
he's
would
not
die.
he's not big enough.
Yeah.
Or not good enough.
he would die. Yeah,
Can he fight a boxer smaller but not as good as Mayweather?
why?
Yeah, why?
Money, but like just brainstorming here. Who can he be fighting?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Or does it
McGregor.
have to be purely an entertainer?
It's got to be McGregor. It's got to be
Ooh, KSI.
KSI again.
That's coming
Hasn't
back.
he lost twice to him or something?
They drew the first time, second time he lost. But I can imagine in 6 months' time, like,
Dude,
that would be
a third and
the
final.
Vengeance.
third
That
and
would be a big fight.
final.
Is anyone more relevant than KSI and McGregor? Like Paul
On the
Mr.
YouTube
Beast.
space.
Yeah, because is he still? I used to love KSI back in the day. I used to love that guy. I watched all his FIFA videos.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Watched a bit of his vlogging, but kind of outgrew it. Like I kind of got over the diss tracks and
Yeah.
his rapping, which not my favorite.
Yeah.
But is he still? He still pops off. He's still. Huge,
I don't know if he's still fighting.
but like relevant.
Yeah, he's still relevant.
Okay.
So maybe that could be it.
That'd
Maybe
be
that
pretty-
could be his move.
That'd be funny.
Otherwise McGregor. But I'm starting to think Jake Paul would be too good for McGregor. Like McGregor wouldn't take that fight.
Why?
I don't know.
He's a bit of a psycho.
I don't think so. I think McGregor could still comfortably beat. Is he like?
You reckon?
I would think so.
I'm
It's
I'm
hard to tell,
starting
but
to-
he was a boxer growing up, Mayweather, wasn't he? Like he was an amateur boxer.
Are you talking Mayweather or McGregor?
McGregor, sorry, he was an amateur boxer and
Yep.
then got into MMA. So he's got like foundations in boxing. Like he's still a good boxer,
You know what? He's a fighter. And at
and
the
he's
heart
got
of it, he's still a
experience
fighter.
on the big stage. Yeah, I think you think Jake Paul would beat Conor McGregor.
They're probably not going to fight for another 2 or 3 more years.
McGregor's only, 33, 32?
I think he's 34.
Is he 34?
I think so.
36 isn't necessarily out of your prime. It's
No.
towards the back end. So if he gets knocked out again, he should probably think about something else if he loses to Dustin Poirier and just...
That it's sort of like
Get
one of those
swept.
fights. 32. McGregor's 32. It's sort of like one of those
yeah.
fights that hinges his career as a fighter that's taken seriously.
Yeah, legitimate contender. I
Hmm.
don't think... I mean, if you want money, you probably keep putting him out there, but otherwise...
It'll be hard for McGregor. Like, and it's sort of hard because I was going back and watching some of his clips last night. And it's like the dude did everything he wanted to do in the sport, and it's sort of sad that sometimes these really good people stick around in a sport too long.
Yeah, and then
so
they get
then
worn
it
out.
sort of leaves a bad taste in your mouth of seeing them lose, and you sort of forget how good they once were, and like arguably one of the best. I don't know.
It's just the greatness by
That's
far.
literally like,
Yeah.
for example, like Stevie Gerrard in football. He's like, all right, boys, don't slip. We don't slip here. Then he slips.
Like one moment,
Yeah.
people remember that more than...
Yeah, people remember that more than, like, this is literally what you're saying. So people remember that failure more than all of his success almost. I mean, only like the true fans will know all the little nitty gritty details of all the wins. But when people say Stevie Gerrard, they think Liverpool captain, Mr. Confident, Mr. Consistent, and then they think, all right, boys, we don't slip here. And then he slips.
It's
Costs
also
them the game.
shit for England, by the way. But
True.
terrible internationals. But I think that's
Just
different
play
in a
football.
sport like football. I feel like it's different because
No, but what he's saying is like, it's
I know
just
you hold on too long, but that wasn't him holding on too long. That was one stupid mistake. Not even. He just slipped over. Like it's literally nothing
Dude's
you can do.
pissing down rain as well.
Yeah,
All muddy,
it's like
he
literally,
slips.
there's nothing you can do.
Nah, he's in the sport too long.
But is that just a short term thing though? Like we're like, oh, Conor McGregor's held on too long. But in 10 years down the track after he's retired, don't people forget about the ending and the bullshit and look back and like, oh no, it was a great. He was a pioneer. I feel like that's how it works. I feel like that's how it works. Because how many people hold on too long and
I don't know. Well,
and like they remembered, oh, they held on too long. No, look, this is when they were great. Because you know they
Muhammad
remember.
Ali,
They
Muhammad Ali hung on too long.
hung on.
Hung on too long at the end of his career, and he had a couple of bad fights and really ugly fights that were bad for his health. He got smashed, and he was dead broke as well. Like Muhammad Ali never really had any money because I think it was Don King took a lot of it from him, and he was a bit of a con artist. So he was always fighting just to literally be putting food on the table. But everyone forgot about those fights.
Well, George,
No
people don't
one
forget
really-
about George Foreman. I mean, he's like an exceptional boxer. I mean, like we just got to take you out off. If you got in a boxing match with him, he'd knock you out 100% every day of the week. And yet, all people think about is Muhammad Ali beating him.
George Foreman is also the oldest ever heavyweight of all time.
Yeah.
Came back at 45, which is a year older than Mayweather is
He
now.
was a beast. He's a beast.
He was just fortunate that he just was so strong that like agility and youthfulness didn't really impact.
You just get in there and pummel people.
Yeah, he was just that strong. Whereas Tyson was a weird combination of
He's a freaking nature.
agility and strength.
Do you remember that
Whereas
picture?
I think Foreman was a bigger puncher than Tyson, but he was just like a truck. Whereas
Yeah.
Tyson's, I don't know what comparison to make for Tyson, but he was good.
Lamborghini Urus. SUV, but also a supercar. He's like fucking everything.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Cybertruck.
$400,000 SUV. That's what he is. He's just boom. He'll pummel you.
Who's winning, Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul?
Tyron Woodley. I'm going to back another MMA guy to beat Jake Paul. Predominantly a wrestler, but a lot better striker than Ben Askren. He's got legitimate knockout power, though.
You know what? Fuck,
But
I'm just
Tyron
going to
Woodley-
say Jake Paul. You know, I really don't like these guys, and I always try to play, like, the card of, oh, you know, they're just fucking around or whatever. But, like, these guys, both of the brothers, they're proving me wrong in terms of they're actually willing to train. They're actually willing to take this a little bit serious. Like, Jake Paul gets in there and talks, like, some utter bullshit, but it's just... It's frustrating for me week in, week out, call the opposite. My call doesn't perform, and then they're just sitting there laughing, making bank. So I'm just going to say Jake Paul.
I'm happy to cobble off and be proven
Yeah.
wrong. I don't care. Tyron Woodley's going to knock him out. Legitimate punch out. All legitimate power.
Funny you say that because I'm so sick of not thinking that Tom Brady can win another Super Bowl, and it's just to the point where I'm like, I've actually gotten sick of talking about it.
And he's like, "Fuck, I'll win another one."
Because every
Now
year
he's
it's like,
never gonna
well,
win.
now he's moved teams, and we know he's a year older. Like, what chance does he have? Like, he wins it, and then it's like now again, like,
No, you just
we
feel
know
like an
he's a
idiot,
year older
yeah.
now. We know he's a year older now. You still know that Patty Mahomes is going to be strong, but like, I've just gotten sick of being wrong.
But do you know what? Those people, sometimes you got to back the winners. Like, you have to
Yeah,
back
it's like
the winners.
Back him until they literally give up. Then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
we can find
That-
someone
that's
else.
sort
to
of
back.
how I'm
But it's
feeling.
like,
But like when someone like Tom Brady comes in, he's like, I'm going to win. I'm going to win again. I'm going to win again. And he does that in
And the
interviews.
odds are against him too. That's
Yeah. Some people like that are just freaks. They just say, I'm winning. No matter what. I'm winning. You can't
what's
stop.
that cliff theory? Have you heard of that reporter talk about the cliff theory
What
with
is it?
Tom Brady?
he's been off the cliff.
Yeah,
Over the hill, yeah.
Yeah, for like the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Where
This
he's-
year.
yeah, this year he's too old, he's too frail, and for like the last 8 years, this one reporter has been telling everyone that this is Tom Brady's
He's
like
over the
last
cliff.
year in the league. He's
literally you,
he's
bro.
washed up.
American version of you. You're out there telling everyone, nah, he's washed up. You're not winning. He wins. Fuck. Next year.
Yeah. Anyway,
Do you start putting money on these people? Like, I know that I'm very, like, anti-gambling. But, like, am I an idiot for not betting on these winners?
no,
not an
because you're
idiot.
still winning.
Yeah, you're not
Straight
losing.
up, yeah.
But if you're gonna bet, probably bet on them. Like bet on the winners. Bet on the people who have proven they can do it in that kind of environment.
Some of them just win week in, week out. It's just nuts. Like, fuck. What am
But
I?
they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. This is the thing is a gambler who's up. I
Yes,
don't think that exists.
that's a fact.
Oh.
Monday lessons, anyway. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and AirPods giveaway. Get us to 500 subs, and you can have a pair of AirPods Pro. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's us.
See ya.